What is going on, GBA universe? My name is Brandon and welcome back to week number 11 of the GBA Waiver Wire show, a show where we take a Pokemon that was not drafted in the GBA and just see what we can do with them. And I cannot believe we are already in week number 11. Like, oh my goodness. Next week is the last week of the regular season, then we're on the playoffs. So this is the second to last episode of the Waiver Wire show, and last week I gave you guys the choice of the undrafted Tier 1 Megas, and the list looked a little something like this. So as you can see, Mega Charizard X came in with 17 votes, Mega Charizard Y came in with 16 votes, Mega Garchomp with 41, Mega Gardevoir with 32, Mega Heracross came pretty close with 79, Mega Sableye with 25, Mega Sceptile with 59, Mega Slowbro with 31, Mega Swampert with 16, and Mega T-Tar with 22 votes, but the winner with 97 votes was Mega Medicham. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, not just Mega Medicham, but Medicham in general is my least favorite Pokemon ever made. I just hate it, but I'm gonna swallow my pride and we're gonna cover Mega Medicham this week on the Waiver Wire show. Next week on the Waiver Wire show, we have one last fan vote. It's going to be the rest of the Megas that were drafted, and we'll have that list at the end of the episode for you guys to vote on, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But until then, let's take a look at what Mega Medicham brings to the GBA table. Now, looking at its stats, it's got 60 HP, 100 attack, 85 defense, 80 special attack, 85 special defense, and 100 in speed. Now, that 100 attack, it's a little bit of an illusion because Mega Medicham gets pure power, which doubles your attack stat, so I think a Jolly Medicham with max attack is going to be 299 attack, which means your Mega Medicham is going to come in with a 598 attack stat. Now, its defenses and HP are going to tell us that this thing's really not made to be taking hits, but if used properly, we're not going to be taking too many anyways. It's all about going to be dishing out death to all our opponents, basically. Now, why should Mega Medicham have been drafted? Well, like I said, it may only have that 100 base attack stat, but it gets pure power, so its attack stat just gets purely ridiculous at that point. Its move pool is pretty good from a physical monster point of view. It gets the elemental punches, as well as some priority and bullet punch, vacuum wave, fake out, so it actually gets feint as well, which actually hits through protect, and detect, and those kind of moves, so that's kind of cool. It's actually got, I think it's the highest priority in the game. I think it's even higher than extreme speed, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, let me know in the comments down below, but I think it gets the highest priority in the game. Yeah, but it gets a bunch of priority. It gets stab moves like Zen Headbutt, Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, which when coupled with pure power, it's going to be devastating, and as well it gets Psycho Cut too, and Psycho Cut has a high chance to crit, and something critical hitting off of that pure power attack stat is going to be absolutely just disgusting. And, you know, if you're feeling unorthodox, it's got a respectable 80 special attack stat. You could really catch physical walls off guard that way. Like, if it's something that's got really great defense stat, but not that great of a special defense stat, you could really catch it off guard and take it out with a special Medicham. But, again, you don't really want to be not using that pure power attack stat that Mega Medicham packs. Now, as for reasons why I don't think Mega Medicham was drafted, its speed stat combined with its lacking defenses mean you're going to have to be very careful and prepare well when using a Mega Medicham. You're going to maybe want to bring some sort of speed control in the way of a Thunder Waving Pokemon or other means of speed control, like something with Tailwind. It can get countered hard by the likes of Mega Sableye, which type-wise gives Mega Medicham a really hard time. Mega Slowbro as well resists both Mega Medicham stabs. Deblade, I find, gives Mega Medicham problems because of the lack of dark coverage Mega Medicham gets. In the end, I find it gets overshadowed a lot of times, and maybe even undrafted because of the likes of like Pokemon like Mega Lopunny, which it gets the Scrappy and it hits those dark types with those fighting moves, even if they are ghosts. So the Spirit Tombs and the Mega Sableyes and the Sableyes, they're all taken out by Mega Lopunny, which Mega Medicham just can't hit. It has a way of take out those ghost types, which, unless you're running a special variant of Mega Medicham, you're not really going to have a good time with ghost types, and actually ghost types can make you do damage to yourself if you're running High Jump Kick, so it's even worse that way. Overall, though, Mega Medicham is a really good Mega. It's just there are certain things in a Counter League format that really make it hard to use sometimes, but we're going to go on to Pokemon Showdown anyways and see how we would use a Mega Medicham in the Counter League format. Now, the first Mega Medicham we have here is the Medicham holding the Medichamite, obviously. That's the one thing about doing Megas, is they're not going to have any variations of items and no variations of abilities. And especially with Mega Medicham, it's really not going to have any variations in EVs. The only thing it might vary is you run an Adamant or a Jolly one. It's really the question of whether you do that. So this one has Fake Out, Drain Punch, Psycho Cut, Ice Punch. You could sub out Psycho Cut for Zen Headbutt. You could sub out Ice Punch for Poison Jab. It's all depends on what you're looking to cover. Psycho Cut I like because it has 100% accuracy and a high chance to crit, while Zen Headbutt does have that flinch chance, but it also does not have 100% accuracy. And of course you could sub Drain Punch out for High Jump Kick, but again, High Jump Kick has that percentage to miss and do 50% damage to yourself. You could also put Bullet Punch somewhere in here if you needed it for priority, and of course Fake Out for that lead off. If they don't have a Ghost type, Fake Out's going to do some big damage to something without having them let you hit them back. Next set I have here is the Medicham with the Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Substitute, and Baton Pass. This one kind of runs, I guess it's kind of like a Mega Lopunny, but this one, what you would do is maybe you can predict the switch and go hit the Substitute, and then you can Baton Pass and gain initiative and gain some momentum just by doing that. And then if you really want to, you can hit the High Jump Kick, and yeah, there you go. But the Substitute's going to allow you, I like to pass Substitutes a lot, just because it allows me to get different things in there that maybe can't take a hit, and that allows them to take a hit with it, you know. So I like this set. I've run it a couple times, and of course it doesn't allow you to hit Ghost types at all. You're completely walled by Ghost types, but it allows you to move, you can Baton Pass from those Ghost types then. Especially if they're getting switched in on you and you can predict that, you can just hit the Substitute and you hit the Baton Pass and go into something that isn't really going to take that much damage from that Ghost type you're facing. And this last set I have here, it's a modest Medicham. Now the last two I showed you, they could be either run as Jolly or Adamant, no matter, depending on what you needed when it comes to speed coverage. But this Medicham's basically running completely special. I just wanted to show you a couple, like that it has moves to hit on the special side. We got Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Psychic, and Vacuum Wave. Shadow Ball is going to allow you to hit Ghost types, which is really nice. Focus Blast for that Fighting Stab, Psychic for that Psychic Stab, and then Vacuum Wave for that priority Fighting Stab. Of course, I'm running a modest nature on this one. You could run a timid one if you really wanted to, but if you're running a special Mega Medicham, that's hard to say, you might be missing the point of your Mega. So unless it's very specialized and you know exactly what you're doing with it, but for the most part, you're going to be running it physical. And that is going to be it on Medicham. Medicham's one of those Pokemon that really can't use a lot of support moves just because of the fact that it's not taking a lot of hits. I mean, if there's a support move you might want to look into, it's maybe Magic Coat, because maybe if you're facing a Sableye, maybe it wants to hit that Will-O-Wisp off and cripple you physically, then you could probably bounce it back maybe, but other than that, Mega Medicham isn't going to be running a lot of support moves because by the time it hits maybe one or two of them, it's pretty much dead, or it's paralyzed, or it's burnt, you know? So the best way I find to run Medicham is exactly the way people expect it, because even if you're expecting a Mega Medicham to come into a battle, it's not a matter of whether you can find a way to outsmart people using it. It's the fact, are people prepared to take it on? Medicham's just one of those Pokemon that hits so hard on the physical side that you can be completely prepared for it, but if you're too focused on preparing for the Mega Medicham itself, you might miss on the rest of your opponent's team, and that could wear you out with the Medicham just being able to come in and clean up on you later. And that right there is the beauty of Mega Medicham, even though it really, really hurts me to admit it. So the choices for next week are the lower tiered Megas, and it's going to be the last episode of the Waiver Wire show for the Season 6 of the GBA. So, the final vote is in, and it is going to be Mega Aggron, Mega Gyarados, Mega Houndoom, Mega Abomasnow, Mega Audino, Mega Glalie, Mega Steelix, Mega Camerupt, or Mega Sharpedo. I'm pretty interested to see how everybody votes on this one. It should be an interesting video to make next week, because aside from Mega Camerupt and Mega Sharpedo, I haven't really touched many of these Megas, so it'll definitely be a challenge for me to make sets for these. So make sure to vote on that, make sure to check out the stuff in the description below, and I will see you guys next week right here on the GBA Waiver Wire show.